jumaa ji ba fi mu ne nii yàq na complètement dem beeg dikk bi rawatina ay égouts yoo xam ne à ciel ouvert la amul couvercle amul dara tey mën na jur ay conséquences yu grave parce que ay canal yu xóote ci am ñoo xam ne ko ci tab yi mais c'est fini wala boog ci ay at a ngi nii lu mat ñaari at dëkk bi yëpp situation boobu lay dund waaw waxoon nañ ko it lu jiitu màggal gi di ñëw mais benn effort gisuñu ñu def ko ci par rapport ak loolu mënuñu su koo ñàkk a wax ndax dafa concerné dëkk bi nit ñi di ko gis buñ ko waxut it nit ñi xam nañ ko dañ jàpp ne kon ñi toogoon fii di wax waxuñu lu ñu xam ci nag nit ñi ñooñu tax di liggéey ñooñu tax di wax mooy wax ne Senelec aussi dëgg la ay ñu ngi liggéey bu baax mais nag yàgg nañ ko wax entretien yi ñuy def dafa war a jiitu màggal loolu ay at ñu di ko wax vraiment bu màggal ñëwee ñuy def ay entretien coupure yu bari yi ay entretien moo koy waral ak maintenance te loolu li muy def ci réseau hydraulique bi xam nañ ko loolu bu fekkonte ne di jiitu màggal kon seen liggéey dana gën a yëwén dana gën a feeñ waaye nag lu ngeen mën a def it bu coupure amee faaw ñu ne coupure am na technique nga xam nañ ne technique am na ci yoo xam ne mën na bañ dépendre ci yéen waaye defe naa bu ngeen jëloon précaution yi aussi yi ci war par rapport ak màggal gi parce que wax nañ leen ko ba tey ne lu jiitu màggal entretien dafa war a jiitu préparation loolu yàgg nañ ko wax li ci des mooy sëriñ bi sous-préfet taxaw na ci liggéey bi taxawaay yu am solo loolu monsieur le ministre faaw moo xamal la ko parce que amul benn yoon bu nga xam ne danañ ko soxla mu tàngam lanu day jóg di ànd ak ñun sur le terrain lu ñuy def ñoo koy ànd def te ànd lenn lu nga xam ne ay problème dong lay doon waaye mukk du feeñal benn yoon ne
customer journey you need to map out. What are the issues in the journey and what are things that are not fully considered? So this is the example of catching the rail. So what are the key things? So, and this will come through all your data, right? So this is what your data is telling you. So this is what your interviews, your surveys and the like have told you. So people want the itinerary confirmed. That's really important. They want to understand what their delivery options are. They need to have a raft of payment options. They need to then have some way to review and confirm. So what's come out is customers really need things confirmed. So they, and maybe that's because older people catch rail in Europe, I don't know. They just need, that's like my parents, need it all confirmed and lined up. And they may need to call someone if they're having any challenges. And then what about issuing the tickets? What are the key things? Can you print the tickets at home? What if you need to change your plans? How do you see the activities that you've actually planned so that you can then follow on to research hotels? What about people that want actual hard tickets? What do you do there? Can people print their tickets at the station? What about refunds? And how does it then all integrate if you need to buy additional tickets? So it's not a pure step-by-step, but from the data it's pulled out the key aspects of that journey mapping. And then the data, so mapping out, I guess, what all the data says. What does your qualitative insight say and what are your quantitative information? So these are the types of things for this one that you look at. So the qualitative is really understanding what are people thinking and feeling and doing. What does that actually look like? What are their pain points? So here, for example, people are excited to go on Eurorail. So how could Rail Europe sort of really capitalise on that excitement? I don't want to make the wrong choice. I'm worried if I make the wrong choice, what does that actually mean? So then what do you have to build into your tech to make sure that people have confidence and comfort around making a mistake, being able to go and change, giving all that information and making changing bookings easy? And then the experience is really around that survey, that more quantitative data. So on what level is it important that things are enjoyable? how relevant is Rail Europe in terms of the booking, how helpful are they, all those sorts of things. So then you can see how the do, the think, the feel, all that data can start coming together, and you map that across your journey. So it all starts linking. And then you map the key highlights and takeaways, which is quite easy. Once you have the whole map out there, once you really understand what are those pain points, what are customers really worried about here, then you can start to really identify what are some of the issues at each stage of the process. So it's really important that people feel supported in creating their own solution. So all this is going to be tech, right? A lot of the solutions are really going to be built into the Rail Europe platform. How do you enable people to plan over time? How do you accommodate planning and booking in Europe too, so that you're across the board? How do you allow customers to understand what sort of hotels are around them when they get off the station? So you can start seeing how easy it is now to pick out where you can add significant amount of value in your product and your platform that you've got for customers. So that's essentially what it looks like. You've got the lens through which you're looking at. You've got your journey model. So what are the customers actually doing? Then your data, what are they thinking and feeling? And what is the experience for using the Rail Europe platform? And then you pull out your key takeaways. What are the new opportunities that we can list down on? How am I going for time, by the way? I don't have my phone over here. I'll just have a quick bit. Good? Okay.
Entretien routier dañ koy def bu nawet jàll.
Oh, my timer. Great.
Bu ñu defaroon tali
that helps.
avant nawet bi tamit. Parce que am na lu bëri lu ñu fi def daaw nawet bi passé ñu ko liggéey. Projet bi ñu am actuellement nii pour
this is,
Touba
I guess, you know,
marché bi bu gën a
extremely
yàgg.
valuable in them pulling out
bu nawet bi
areas
jàllee
that
aussi
you
dañuy
can
continuer
you can
liggéey
problem solve
entretien
and
routier parce que
focus
entretien
on
routier
how
bu ñu
might
koy
we
def day
use
fekk nawet
tech,
jàll.
essentially, to really
Parce
address
que liggéey bi
these
ci nawet
problems.
bi c'est pas recommandé.
It may
Tey boo
sound
jëlee
hard,
tali boo xam ne bu dul
difficult.
bu bees tax bu
It's
tali
time
bi.
consuming, I'm not going to
Tali bu
lie,
am
like to
5
get all
ans,
this
6 ans, 7 ans, comme
information,
li ñu am Touba
to go out and
actuellement.
survey customers,
Chaque fois que
to
nawet
conduct
jeex,
interviews,
defar
to understand what sort of information
boo
you actually
defaree
want
tey
to gain from
fi
them.
yàqu feneen lay fay.
It is time consuming, but it's not rocket science. It's not
loolu rek moo indi
it's not,
yeexital am
you
na
know,
ci ak yooyu.
really hard,
Mais côté boobu
but it does take an effort.
tey tali
But
Jannatul
you'll
Mawa bi
find that you'll
am nay
get
at
so
yu
much
bëri
value
bu
out
ko
of
defar
it.
rek léegi.
And it won't just be one
defar nañu
innovation
ñu
that you'll get
actuellement
out of
nii
it.
fàtt nañ tur yu
You
fa
can
nekk
innovate across the
bu nawet bi
entire
jeexee
customer
yeneen yu
journey,
bees
the
ay
entire
génn
customer experience.
ñu réparé noonu rek lay
build
demee loolu rek
whole
la
new
boo kiiwul nag da ngay am peut-être
companies
impression
out
que
of
liggéey
really
ko wala
understanding key pain
liggéey bi demul
points
noonu mais
that people have
dundu
in the
tali
journey. Hence,
ak ndox
Viva.
ak lii daw ci tali bi muy camion loolu la àndal loolu rek ko indi mais du
So what then?
yeexital du dara.
So you've got all
mais
this great
remarque la boo xam ne
information.
jël nañ ko en compte
And even I see
pour
companies
tenir ci
that
en
have
compte pour prochainement
all
loolu
this
amul
great
amul
sort
benn
of
jafe-jafe.
customer journey mapping, and they still go back to the problem that they have in their own mind. They still just formulate and go, oh yeah, well we kind of knew that and this is the problem. It's like, well, is it really? Is that really the problem? So it's really important to define the problem really well. And then test that problem again with your customers, the users, you know, whoever may be engaging with that problem, and making sure that that actually resonates. People go, yeah, no, actually, it's crap that I booked something on your rail and I don't know where my tickets are and I don't know which is the closest hotel. So really distilling down what the problem is. And it's really good to do this in multidisciplinary teams. So this is where you can bring potential customers into a workshop, developers, whoever. Bring them all together and work on the problem definition. So we use this sheet a lot within the data hub. So looking at simple questions that you can really start fleshing out the problem. So I've tried to give it a go very quickly with one of the Rail Europe problems. So one of the things that I picked out, so what is the key problem we're trying to resolve and why is this important? So travellers cannot plan, shop and book in a seamless transaction. It's clunky, they've got to go from one stop to the other. If they leave their computer, it doesn't understand where they sort of left off. They can't shop for hotels in the same platform, those sorts of things. And it's important because travellers are getting frustrated. This is a pain point for them, it annoys them. But also, purchase engagement rates drop. So from a business point of view, that's not good. If someone's dedicated enough to get on your website to try and book rail and then they throw their hands in the air and go, oh, it's all too hard, I don't understand this, then that's a massive problem for Rail Europe. Hence travellers and Eurail. So it's a problem on both sides. So what would be the impact of solving this problem? And this is where you can kind of really understand, is it even worth it? Should I even be bothered solving this problem? Is the impact great enough to our business, to the customers? So if you've got greater customer satisfaction and a high initiation to purchase rates, then yeah, this is significant. We want to bolster customer satisfaction. We want more people to come back to our website and book rail. And we want, obviously, who doesn't? Whose input do we think we need to solve this problem? So this is really critical. So this becomes a tech problem, right? So it's a web-based interface with the customer. So we obviously need tech developers in there working out what is the best way that we can change our platform, that we can change the interaction that customers have with the way that they purchase tickets. We need travellers in there, right? So we always need to solve these problems with constantly bringing the customer, the user, back in. Is this right? Are we solving it the right way? Is this still a problem? What do you think about this if we tackled it from this way? And then the management. So whoever is going to be the people giving you the money to actually tackle the problem or develop the solution. And then it's always good. I find this one the hardest. Can we think of this problem in a different way? My brain just goes, well, I've thought of the problem and I can't deviate. I'm not creative in that way. So that's why, again, it's really good to have multidisciplinary teams. Can you actually think of the problem in a different way? And the whole reason behind that is, I guess, sort of that divergent thinking differently, and then distilling down, converging your ideas again into a solution. So the booking system doesn't remember an individual traveller's preference from plan through to book. So again, that's a problem, but you can see how that might be a slightly different solution. And then can you think of 5 ways to solve the problem? So 5 different ways to solve the problem. I came up with 2. The booking platform is integrated with shopping and planning, so it's a seamless transaction across the platform. The planning tool automatically identifies rail routes to book and key shopping needs. Build in AI predictive analytics into the platform. But the key to all of this is ensuring that at the end of it, you have a problem statement. And that the team in which is working on this worksheet really understands and agrees on what that problem is. And then you're away. And then the fun stuff, the ideation, the icebreakers, all that good stuff. So we do some ideation within the Data Hub, and it's really around, there's so many ideation tools online. You can get 1 million of them. Google ideation tools and so many things will come up. And it's really around getting your brain to think divergently. So coming up with crazy, weird, wonderful ideas. It doesn't matter what they are. Putting all those up on butcher's paper, whatever, post-its, whatever you do in ideation workshops, and then looking at them all and going, okay, let's converge our thinking. And it might be part of a way out idea with a more sensible idea is the best solution for you to come up with. So I encourage you all to, that one's a Board of Innovation ideation toolkit. We've got many within the Data Hub, happy to share any ideation toolkits with you, but hundreds out there, and they're fun. You know, it's fun to get in a group and start throwing out crazy ideas, doing some left brain, right brain stimulation type of exercises, getting you to think outside the box is all good. And then the next stage that we don't do so much, but relatively easy for you guys to do, you're all software developers and the like, but is to start actually prototyping some of this stuff. So giving it a go. You've done all the hard work now. You really understand the pain points of your customers. You really understand what the problem is. You've come up with some pretty cool solutions to those problems. Also, you know, make sure with the problems you are chunking them, you know, so you're not trying to solve the whole thing at once. What are the things that you can do sort of in isolation and build some MVPs around that, some prototypes around that. So these are just some examples of online tools that we recommend people can use. You guys would no doubt have a million others. But just start playing around with it, seeing sort of what resonates, what sort of works. And that's essentially what design thinking is, right? So it's not rocket science, it's not, it's I don't know, it's not like it's not common sense. To me, you know, any of this sort of stuff, they just put a new name on it, but really it's all common sense, like data science. I was like, haven't we been using data for years and years and years to solve problems? Is that what data science is? But it's really invaluable. I've seen it work time and time and time again really well for, especially in tech, for coming up with really great understanding of what your customers want, what those potential solutions could look like. So I encourage you all to have a go. Please do. If you need any resources, you can always contact us at the Data Hub. We run all our workshops free of charge. We're state government funded, so it is a free service. And whilst we have sort of a data science, obviously, focus, we don't really know whether solutions are going to be a data analytics solution when we get started on a lot of these design thinking processes. So I do welcome you all to get in contact with us. We're happy to run workshops with you. We're happy to provide more advice and give any sort of help that you need along the way.
Thank you. Thank you, Liz.